Hello and welcome to the Unconventional Podcast with Grace Hardy. Today we have Tiff on, which is amazing.
Hi.
And you run a brand called Parallel X Studio.
Yes, I do. I'm the owner of the brand Parallel X Studio, which is an accessories label.
That's amazing. So how did we meet? A very important question.
So how we met was I needed an accountant, like most people do, but I didn't really know where to start. And I was just like procrastinating it for months, like just Google searching, and it was like coming up with these random firms that probably you cannot trust. And then randomly I went on my For You page and one of Grace's videos popped up, and I was just like, not only is she a woman, but she's young too, talking about money. And it just really intrigued me, and I could relate to the fact of like being young and being in business and stuff. And I thought, she's a great match. Reached out to you, and now you're my accountant.
I know, isn't it lovely and wholesome?
Yeah, it is a great story.
Oh, thanks. So how did you get starting posting on social media?
So I started back in the day when Tumblr was like the app that everyone was on, and it was super organic. I didn't even realize I was content creating back then because it wasn't so much of a thing. I was just buying stuff from charity shops, and back then charity shops weren't cool. Like, people weren't going thrifting. So it was more like, I've been raised in charity shops. Like, my mom's always gone to charity shops, and I would just like restyle all these old stuff. Can I swear on here?
Yes, you can.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah, I would just restyle all this old shit, and people were just like, where'd you get this from? Where'd you get this from? And I'm like, oh, charity shop. And people were like, what? Like, what do you mean the charity shop? Because literally when I tell you, anyway, where I was from, people did not shop in the charity shop. So people were intrigued by that, and people started associating me with thrifting. And then it kind of transitioned over to Instagram with like styling outfits and stuff. Again, all just for pure hobby, pure fun. Did not see any money in it. I was just loving doing it. And then over the years, I just kind of grew from that, and here we are today.
That is such a lovely story, I think, because it's completely organic what you've done.
Yeah, 100%. And it's so funny because I'm still considered like a smaller creator in like the Instagram world of like numbers and things like that, but the people that followed me have literally grown up with me. Like, they have been with me since I like started when I was like 14, and I'm 25 now.
Wow.
I'm 26 next month, so
Happy birthday.
thanks.
And I think that's so amazing, because I know people that do that now. I personally have zero creative spark whatsoever. And so I really like admire people like you that can go and do that. Like, I can draw a stick man, like that's about it. Like, when I started my business, I got my cousin in so she could like design my logo and like pick my colours, just because I don't have an eye for it. So like, I always like admire people like you, because I think that's like, you have to have something so special to be able to do that.
Yeah, I do think that like creativity can be inspired by everything. I always say like inspiration is everywhere. Like, you just need to open your eyes to it. But I do think some people are just born with a certain thing. Like, when it comes to creativity, like sometimes you're just born with it.
Oh, lucky you. And so you started growing on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then you started TikTok too.
Yeah, so in lockdown, I downloaded TikTok when it was like so uncool, and everyone was like, yo, that's like a kid's app. And I was like,
everyone's like, why is everyone dancing on it?
I loved it. I was like, this is sick. And I was literally doing like dancing videos. Like, I found it so fun because I was in uni at the time, and me and my housemate Jordan, shout out to Jordan, would just learn dances all lockdown. And
I love that.
Then obviously the app has changed so much. I've literally watched it from its conception to now, and it's crazy how much it's changed, and it's slowly becoming Instagram. But I do love the app.
Bringing out an Instagram, aren't they though?
Yeah, I've seen that. I need to look into that. But I do love the app as a whole. It's my favorite app, definitely, because it just gives me so much jokes. And not only that, I think it's really generous to its creators.
Amazing. And so can you tell me about your first collaboration?
Yeah, it's a really long time ago. So I just feel like, I can't say it was my first, but I know it's one of my earliest collaborations was actually with Nike.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
This company called The Soul Supply reached out to me, and they were doing a collaboration with Nike, and we shot like a video around London with, I think it was like Air Force Ones or something like that. And I remember literally thinking like, I've made it. Like,
yeah, I would have thought that too, to be fair.
No, I was literally paid pennies, but like still it meant so much to me because I like loved buying like oversized vintage sweatshirts like back when I first started on Tumblr and stuff. So it was just so full circle. Like, it was crazy. I just remember at the time thinking it was the biggest thing ever, which it is, and kind of full circle because end of last year I did like a massive campaign for Nike, which was all over their website globally.
Oh my God, congratulations.
Thank you. And it was like my highest paid like job and everything like that. So it was really full circle that like one of my first collaborations was that, and then now it's like coming back. So yeah,
did you get to keep anything?
Yeah, I kept some clothes from the shoot and some shoes. It was cool.
That's so exciting. At what point did you realise that you could actually make a decent amount of money? off social media?
I think people will be really surprised to know that only in the last 2 years, and I've been doing it for more than 10. Like, I think a lot of factors play into that. One being that I am a creator that's black. Like, putting it plainly, get paid less or don't get offered as many paid opportunities as my white counterparts, I would say, from my experience. And I've seen it so many times because I have friends who are in the industry who are not black, and like we'll talk about, oh, how much did you get paid for that? And you know, it starts to add up, and it's something that's been kind of spoken out about a lot, especially after like the BLM movement in 2020 and stuff like that. So I honestly was not really getting paid like that. I think a lot of people thought I was, because I like, it doesn't matter, like if I don't have any money, like I will put together an outfit. Do you know what I mean? Like,
of course you will. And you turn up looking like this, absolutely stunning.
Oh, thank you. No, even with like £5, you know, my roots are charity shops. So I think because of the way I dressed and stuff, people always assumed I had all this money. But only 2 years ago did I start making real money through social media, and I kind of realized, damn, like I've been getting scammed this whole time. I could have made way more money. But no, that's why it's so important to talk about things like this, because I think people shy away from talking about how much they get paid and all of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, when I got a message going, love for you to do a reel, like how much do you charge? I remember texting you and a couple of my other clients who are like content creators being like, so what's the going rate for one of these? Because like, I don't know. And I think that's so scary. Like, I think only in the world do you know, but it's important to have those conversations, because if I didn't ask you, I'd be like, 20 quid, like anything.
Yeah, I think it's about understanding your value. A lot of people will talk down on like content creators as like, okay, yeah, like you do that as a job, but you're just taking pictures. It's literally the new market. It's the new advertisement.
Massively.
Like, advertisements still exist. You still see billboards, you still see some marketing moments in real life, but most of the marketing moments happen on social media. Sometimes you don't even realize you're watching an ad or you're being sold something. Yeah, it's about understanding your worth. They will pay grands for like, you know, a billboard or whatever. So if you're now the replacement, you should be getting that, because they're going to make money off of what you're helping them create.
Especially in this market now, people buy from like emotions and other people. Yeah, if I walk past a billboard, 9 times out of 10, I'm too short to actually see it. So it's like way fast. But also, I can't connect with that person. Yeah. Whereas if like your marketing's great, because it's like very personable, and you have like loads of people like shooting it and all that sort of stuff, and like you repost people that are wearing like your accessories, and that's a great way of doing it. Yeah. And other brands. But I saw that, what was it? I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Gizu fridge.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I was like, that's sick. I want one of those. Yeah. But then the accountant in me was like, that's awful, because with PR gifts, the wholesale cost you have to put through as income.
Which I was mind blown by this when you told me that. Like, things I've been gifted, like I basically have to count that. I'm like, oh, what? I didn't know that. What? It's crazy.
No, it is completely crazy. And so think of all those little products in that fridge.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true now that you're saying that.
Food for thought. But how has having that following, basically you created a community since the beginning, how did that translate into you being able to build a brand? What was the sort of the thought process behind that?
To be honest, it really didn't have much to do with the platform that I built. I always knew I was going to have a brand. Like I always knew that I was going to have something. I just didn't know what it was going to be. And then I kind of looked within myself. I did think of like, what do people know me for as well? Obviously fashion. Something that really connects to me is accessories, because it all comes from my mum. She's like obsessed with accessories and actually passed that gene down to me. So I thought this is something that's like great. I think also there's a lot of clothing brands in the market, and I didn't want to be another creator just making a clothing brand. Like I really wanted to think about where's the gap in the market, and I do think there's a gap in the market for accessories, especially bags, and there's more things I want to do in the future. I was thinking about all of those things when I decided to make my business.
And so what sort of research did you have to do behind it? Because you can wake up one day and go, I'm going to start a business. Yeah. But what like steps did you have to take to make what is now Parallel Studio?
Yeah, it was 2 years before I actually launched it. I was literally doing my research and I was doing my studying. People think this stuff just happens overnight. And I think you need to know the balance of, are you procrastinating because you don't believe in yourself and you don't want to do it? Or are you actually seriously taking the considered time to make sure you know about the industry you're going into? And I was very much the second. Like I wanted to make sure that I felt as prepared as possible going into it. So obviously like doing my trademark, my business, a lot of the stuff I was doing at that point, even though I was researching, was like it's like another language. I don't know what the fuck these people are talking about. I just want to make cute stuff, but sure, I'll tick that and I'll tick that. Like, there's loads of stuff that like you'll ask me now in our accountant meetings. Did you do this, that, and that for your business? And I'm like, no idea, because at the start I was just clicking random.
Yeah, click all the boxes and hope for the best.
Yeah, literally. But it worked out, so
here we are.
Definitely making sure you get your trademark nice and early. Definitely making sure, I made a page, like a private page, where I just followed a bunch of business owners, and every day just seeing the content that they would post and the things that they would talk about, and it would just spark things in me of like, okay, I need to get that done, I need to get that done. That was really helpful as well, making sure that my, like, having a page where my whole TL is just business and people, especially women who own things, was really helpful and encouraging as well. And yeah, just keeping yourself like inspired. Obviously set goals, but not focusing too much on like, okay, I have to hit this goal by this time or whatever. I say like dream big always, but just always remain open.
Love that. But I think what you said about goals is so important. I think it's important for every single business owner to have goals. I started my business as a joke on a whim. And so at the time, like I had no goals. I just wanted to go to Bali to find myself. But now,
everybody.
Like, tell me about it. So jealous. One of my clients came back the other week and I was like, how was it? And she was like, it was amazing. Like, good for you. But I have goals now and they change all the time because I've done stuff now in the first 6 months of my business that I literally would have never thought of ever. And so those goals, like, you have to keep an open mind because they're constantly changing.
For sure, definitely. And another thing I would say as well is doing your research when it comes to manufacturing. I made so many mistakes at the start of like just wasting money that, you know, you make back eventually, you know, the more you keep going, but it's a long time before you see that making back of money. So
yeah, I've had loads of people that want to start clothing brands. Where do you find a manufacturer? Do you outsource it? Do you have it in the UK?
Yeah, I think it's about doing a bit of both. It also depends what you want to make, because like certain industries you want to make things in certain places, like bags, leathers. I'll often like try and source my materials from Italy, but then maybe I'll get them made in like China or something like that. It just depends on what you want to make. But definitely have a source in your home country and then have a source like outside as well, so you can kind of work the two. Have multiple manufacturers. I remember having this like goal of like finding the manufacturer for everything. Like literally I'm on the mission to find as many bag manufacturers as I can, like 5 solid good ones, so I know that if this one's not the vibe right now, I've got another backup, because so many times things will just change, manufacturers will just change their mind, and then you're like, fuck, I just announced this collection and now I don't have a manufacturer anymore. Yeah, those things happen sometimes, so it's just really important to have a wide resource of manufacturers.
And I think it's also really important to say that like building a business is such a journey. Like mistakes and things will go wrong. And even if you try your hardest and put all these things in place, you are going to make mistakes, and that's perfectly natural. And I think that's how you grow. Like I've learned so much more from the mistakes I've made on my journey than all the things that have gone right.
Yeah, you've got to be fine with that. You've got to be fine with the fact that you're going to take a couple L's when you have a business, especially at the start. Like it gets better, but at the start, oof,
it's rough.
That was rough. Like it, and a lot of people don't make it through that point, and that's why they like kind of give up.
And I think your like purpose, like your why, has to be so important, because it is so easy to give up. Like I wake up on some days now and I'm like, why am I doing this?
100%.
And like my why is like, I want to make people's lives better. I want to help them and like change their lives and improve them. And then I'm like, okay, I need to work today so I can do that.
No, people need you. 100%. I need you.
I need your handbag.
You can't stop.
What challenges did you face, like when doing your clothing brand? So we've talked about like manufacturers, but for you yourself, do you like ever get imposter syndrome, etc.?
I did at the start. I think now I have such a strong kind of like, I'd say that I'm like spiritual, not religious, which
love that.
Yeah, so I think I have a really strong sense of self because of my spirituality. I don't get imposter syndrome anymore, but at the start it was really bad. I know it's so generic, but it is truly a fake it till you make it thing. Like you have to be delusional. You have your days like by yourself, you have your days, you have your people, you limited, I always say limited group of people that you tell, you know, your real feelings to, because you never know what people are planning on you. But like in all, you want to just be delusional as possible at the beginning. So yeah, I think sometimes now I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Okay, it actually worked now.
Yeah.
And I've not even done a quarter of what I want to do, but I just think that a better spot than I used to be. So I'm like, okay, it's worked. Okay, shit. I have to keep this going now. It's more that's like, oh, okay, I can't stop. Like maybe sometimes that might scare me, but I think if you're not a little bit scared, then it's boring, isn't it?
It is a bit dull. And I always say that about like public speaking or anything like that. Like I genuinely, it used to give me panic attacks. Like I hated it. I remember doing my GCSE English and like, you had to do a speech, and I literally, I was sweating, shaking, holding this piece of paper like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. But now I think a little bit of nerves is good, because if you're not nervous, I think it means that you don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Not even to be like cocky, but I do rarely get nervous. And I think it's just because I went to acting school because I wanted to be an actress before. And that really kicked into me a sense of like, I'm just used to like being in front of a whole bunch of people, bombing my line or something, and it's like, okay, well, I've got to keep going. So I think that also instilled in me this spirit of like just being like, fuck it, I'm not gonna die. Well, I will die one day, but
oh, morbid turn.
But yeah, you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. I think I needed a bit of that, because like I was more like academic, and so like speaking in front of loads of people just made me want to like shrivel up into a ball.
For sure. I think most people feel that way.
Yeah,
you know?
Should have gone to acting school.
Yeah, honestly, should have gone to acting school, and also should be a Gemini. Like Geminis just love talking. You know, I'm a Gemini. So.
I'm a Cancer.
Oh, I love Cancer.
I know.
We've had this chat.
We have.
Yeah.
But it's important to know people's star signs. I ask all of my clients, so what's your name and what's your star sign? Just so I can see if we're compatible, and I'll put it online on like one of those like little compatibility like websites.
Yeah, okay, yeah, like that.
Of course. Like people used to do with like boyfriends' names and stuff. Yeah. Do you remember that? Yes. And there's ones on TikTok as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like one of like the weird effects.
Oh,
sometimes I have
got crazy filters on TikToks, don't they?
Honestly, they do. So how do you manage the financial aspect of running a clothing brand? Because obviously it's not just sales, it's paying suppliers, manufacturers, branding, marketing, etc.
It's all about removing your money blockages. There's this podcast that I swear by, like I tell everyone to listen to, and it's called Law of Attraction Saved My Life.
Oh, I'm going to give it a listen
changed
now.
My life. Law of Attraction changed my life.
Yeah.
And it's hosted by this lovely lady called Francesca, and she just basically talks about all the stuff she's manifested. She's manifested a life for herself that's like crazy, down to the fact that she like put her husband on her vision board before she even met him. She didn't even know him.
What?
And it ended up being her husband, the same guy. Yes, like she's crazy at this manifestation shit, and a lot of the stuff that she speaks about is money blockages.
Are you running a business? Meet your new best friend, Sage Accounting Individual. Whether you're testing an idea, managing a side hustle, or running a full-time sole trader business, Sage makes digital record keeping a breeze. You can connect your bank, categorize transactions, and create professional invoices in seconds, and send them to customers in a click. You can even understand your profits, track who owes you money, and get your taxes sorted from your laptop or your phone. If you need a helping hand, you can get instant support from our Sage specialist via web chat, or connect with an expert accountant like me for expert business advice. With Sage, you can focus on what matters, growing your business. Join over 1.2 million UK businesses already using Sage. You can start for free today by visiting sage.com.
And how like we all have a relationship to money, and most of our relationships to money is very unhealthy.
Yeah, completely.
And it's mostly due to like our upbringing. So I come from violins. I come from like a council house background. Yeah. Like most of my life, my mom was a single mom, but then she met my stepdad, which I love. But yeah, even regardless, like we just did not have a lot of money. I'm one of 7 siblings, so I had to share a lot. It was like a 3-bedroom house. I basically come from nothing. And I think naturally growing up, it's like this scarcity mindset, like, oh, I need to get my next paycheck, always worrying about money. And I think before you even start a business, you need to start doing the work on removing your money blockages. It was so stressful. It gave me so much anxiety, like paying for my first stock, because I was also paying it out of my own money at first. Obviously I was investing grand into it, and it was just to press pay was like fucking hell. How am I paying like grands for this shit, and I don't even know if it's gonna sell? Now I'm like, yeah, like 5k on that, whatever. And it's like not even in a cocky way, more like I trust that this is going to do well. Yeah. And I'm not going to have this toxic relationship to money where it's like I'm going to be scared of money. Yeah. I'm going to make money my bitch.
I love
you know,
that.
that's the way I see it now. It's like, no, my money's working for me. I'm not working for money.
And do you know what? That must be such a freeing mindset to have, because I've been there. Like, my mum's a single mum, and so I got a job at 16, and like I was always so scared that I wouldn't have enough money to like be able to do the things I wanted to do, like just like live. I still have times where I get stressed about it. Now I know I've got like savings and stuff, but in my head I always like think I've got no money, and it's a terrible mindset to have.
It's about changing that relationship and removing your money blockages. So do that work. That's been the biggest financial thing for me. Like, I've lost money. There's been products that haven't sold as well as I thought it would, especially at the start and stuff. But like the biggest challenge is changing your relationship to money. And this just transpires not just with business, but across your whole life. That's what even actually really pushed me to find you, like as an accountant as well, to kind of do things that reaffirm to me that like, no, I'm okay. I'm not going to spend my whole life worrying about a piece of paper. I'm going to make it work for me. And also the idea that like, oh, there's not enough. Like, all the money's being taken. Like every day you hear about a new millionaire that just spawned from TikTok and they're like 15 or something. And you're like, fuck, that's another million gone. Like that's the mindset you don't want to have. There is more than enough. I'm telling you.
I know. And I had this. So for me personally, I found myself at the beginning comparing myself a lot to other people in my industry, which is incredibly unhealthy and I do not recommend. They were maybe like 10, 15 years into their journey, and I was like 2 months in being like, why am I not there yet?
Yeah.
And that is such an awful mindset to have. And I was like, if they're doing really well, then that's less clients for me. Yeah. But then I was like, no, Grace, like you have a different clientele. There's more than enough people to go around.
Yeah,
everyone needs an accountant.
Billions of people in the
world.
world.
Chill the fuck out.
No, 100%. I absolutely could not agree more. I'm very, very passionate on this topic. So, yeah.
I think that's so important. But for me, as a woman in business, I've come across people that have not treated me well. Or I like go to a networking event. They're like, whose PA are you? And I'm like,
the audacity.
Tell me about it. Or like someone's girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
And it's rough out there. What like unique challenges do you think you faced in business because you're a woman?
Sorry, I just burped.
You're allowed to do whatever you want.
And then my freaking top just popped from it. That's freaking gross. I would definitely say like saying no to people. Like people just seem to not get it when you're a woman in business and you're telling them no. I've only really dealt with like male managers. They just love to tell you like, no, we can't do that because this, that and the other. And I'm like, but you can, because I'm telling you to, because I'm paying for it. So no. And I think at the start I was like scared to do that. So I was just listening to what they would say. Then I ended up with a product that I fucking hate. And I'm like, fucking hell. Just wasted my money on that. So it's all about learning to say no as a woman. Also keeping connected to your feminine self, I've really troubled with. I've always had problems with that because of the topic we spoke about earlier. And like I also got a job as soon as I turned 16 and have always worked. I think working, I believe, is a very masculine energy. Like, for example, you have to tap into your masculine energy. Everyone has a feminine and masculine, like, no matter what gender you are. I think what's beautiful about women is that we do have the feminine. And I often like that because I'm always being like the boss, you know? So I think trying to stay connected to your femininity in your life, like make sure you have parts of yourself that you're like, okay, no, I'm actually taking care of myself and being in my feminine right now. Like I'll intentionally make sure it's like, no, I'm getting myself at least one massage a month.
So little things on the side.
Oh, it looks very cute. My nails are shameful, so I don't want to show them. In business, you have to tap into your masculine. I think I even heard like Kim K talk about this. Like operating in your masculine can be so tiring all the time. So make sure you have parts of your life where you're connected to your femininity. I'm working on that. Like it's something I've tried to do recently because finance is so male dominated that you sort of have to like, I was like, okay, I need to wear a suit to every event because otherwise people aren't going to take me seriously. Which is crazy.
Which is mental to me. And now I tap into it so much and like my brand is a lot more like feminine. Like I'll say, oh my God, I'm just a girl. Like yesterday I put my story, I'm going to Parliament. Do I straighten my hair? And everyone was like, yeah,
but that's so real.
Straighten your hair.
That is so real. And that's what makes kind of you special. And that's what makes women special. And I just think like you can be feminine and be a boss and do all of that all at the same time, you know?
Yeah. And I think it's just like mindset mostly. Like I was like, if I don't wear a suit, people aren't going to take me seriously. So like I went to an event the other evening and I decided to wear a dress.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to dress up and I'm going to look really good.
Period. And because you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
And everyone was like, you look great. And I was like,
slay.
Thank you. Okay, this is like one of my favorite questions and we've talked about this briefly, but where do you see your brand evolving to in the future? Because what I love about you is you like have such amazing goals, and like I know you're going to reach them, and that's what I love so much about you. Is like when you were telling me them ages ago, I was like, I so see this for you. But in your own words, like how do you see like your brand evolving?
Yeah, I think I definitely want to like explore, kind of tap and hone into the idea of accessories more, in terms of like we always say, like for my brand, like accessories for your life as well, not just for your wardrobe. I always said since I was young, like it's in all my diaries, I'll be happy if I'm an actress, a fashion designer, or like an interior designer.
Oh, that's so cute.
And I have so far done 2 out of 3. So I would love to do parallel home and do furniture, like accessories for your home.
That would honestly be amazing.
Yeah, I really think interior design is like another form of fashion, and I've always loved it. And yeah, the idea of dressing your home has always really appeared to me. So yeah, definitely home. I want to do shoes. I love shoes. Shoes
you are
really,
wearing amazing shoes at the moment.
Thank you. Wearing my tabbies. Shoes are really hard to manufacture. Like that's just, the industry is notoriously hard, but that's fine.
You'll figure it out.
I'm going to do it. Going to figure it out. Yeah, I think I really just want to be known like a household name for accessories one day. I really want to start a mentorship, if possible, for young Black girls. Don't know where to start with whatever it is they want to do, not even if it's just fashion, like, because I was there, like, and I wish I had someone older than me to like mentor me. I remember just thinking so much, I want a mentor, like,
I want a mentor. I don't have one.
It's like, how do you get one? How do you get a mentor?
People
they should
are
start
like,
an
just
app
ask. Maybe we'll start an app for it. Coming soon.
Exactly, coming soon.
But people like just ask, and I'm like, oh, it feels a bit like weird.
Yeah.
Asking. But I mean, I do that for other people, so I get like DMs and stuff being like, I want to start what you're doing, like what do I do? And then like I'll help them and answer their questions. I wish someone did that for me.
Yeah, exactly. Like I basically, how I doing what I'm doing, I just figured it out. But how much easier if, especially when you're faced with adversity, you have someone to be like, okay, this is what you do, this is what you do, without expecting anything back. So I would love to start something like that in the future as well, definitely.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And as a business owner, you also work doing content. How do you juggle everything?
I don't know. You know, this is like something that everybody asks me, like, how do you do it all? I just have for years. I think, again, when I turned 16, I was like, yeah, I'm going to give myself a different life, and I want to give my family a different life than this. So I just got a job straight away. I was still in school, working all the time. And then I went to uni. And if you know anything about acting school, it's like very, very, very intense. It's like 5 days a week, but still I was like working as well at the side, and then also creating content. I'm just used to it, which is not very good. I'm actually trying to reduce my palette now, because I'm trying to like
what sort of like way? Like I'm trying to do the same.
Like intentionally, I will be like, okay, well, past 11 p.m, I'm not doing any more work. Like I will work if I can. I will work until like 3-4 a.m.
I'm the same.
And I'll wake up at like 8. It's insane. I don't even drink coffee. I don't know how I freaking do it. I just run off of pure vibes. Like, I don't know how I do it. I just raw dog
It's just
life.
like when you're so passionate about something, like you can do it for absolutely ages.
Yeah. And that's another thing I realized. I remember when I was leaving my last 9 to 5, I was like, I can't wait to have spare time. I can't wait to have free time. Sweetie, when you have your own business and you go full time, it's even more blurred because you work for yourself. There's no dedicated hours. So you end up working 24 hours.
Honestly, since I quit my corporate job, I have worked more hours
I've not had a day off.
I've ever worked in my entire life.
Yes, literally. But it's great, and I'm not complaining, and I'm grateful because I'm doing what I love to do.
Yeah, I love what I do, which is so nice. However, everyone was like, you're going to have so much more free time. And I was like, where is it?
So I'm working on clearing my plate and intentionally just setting things for myself that's like, okay, no, after I've completed that task, I'm going to do this for myself. I'm going to do this for myself. Because I just don't think it's healthy. Like that also did... I'm saying like, yeah, I managed all this stuff for like a decade, but it did ruin my mental health a little bit. So I don't recommend. And I think there's this glorification of overworked and tiredness and just do it all and grind, especially when you live in cities like London where you have to do, you can't just have one job because how are you going to afford it?
Expensive.
Right? I think it's really important to not glamorize that, because at the end of the day, like we are creatures that were created to just exist and just take care of the earth and just be like what our natural creativity leads us to do. Everything that we're doing is like so unnatural.
I love that, and that's so important. Like I've been burnt out before and it was rough.
It's horrible.
Do you know how I realised? My sister was like, no one can come to this Madison Beer concert with me. Can you come? And I cried. I cried because I was so exhausted, and the thought of going to that concert made me cry. And I was like, maybe I should take some time off. Like, it's not okay. And that was so unhealthy. So 100%. I drove home and I was like, Mum, like, I don't know what to do. I feel absolutely awful. Like, I wake up every day and I'm exhausted and I sleep for 9 hours at night.
Yeah. I was literally just having this conversation with my mum like the other day. Like, so weird you said that. She was just like, you know, you can't give up, but you definitely have to know when. Yeah, I can feel a hair on my face. Thank you. She was like, you can't give up, but you definitely need to know when to take a break, when to just pause, silence, sit in it. And then, you know, things get revealed to you of like, oh, okay, actually there's a better way for me to do this, that and that. I'm all about working smarter and not harder. I don't want to work hard.
No, neither.
Controversial, but I don't want to work hard. I don't. And like, maybe to some people what I do is hard, but it comes very natural to me, like thinking of ideas. What I mean is like all the other shit. Like, okay, I should stay up really late so I can pack all these parcels, when it's like, actually I could split it up and I could be kinder to myself.
And also what my mum said to me is, when I was having that conversation with her, is she was like, you need to celebrate the small wins more.
Yeah.
Like, I was getting so caught up in everything. Like, I've been running my business for 6 months. Like, that's it. And like,
that's crazy because you've done so much.
That's what she said.
Like, what?
Yeah.
6 months?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. And so she was like, Grace, like, can you just appreciate how far you've come? Because 7 months ago, I was in a corporate job, dead-end corporate job, and now I'm here. And she was like, can you just like look in the mirror and like say well done?
That's so inspirational. That's why your story needs to be shared, for sure. Definitely. And I think something to help with that, I created this sheet. I think I went through the sheets with you where like I will write down my goals for the year. It's like a 5-year plan, and I'll write in like each year kind of how I see myself progressing, and I'll focus on the first 2 years. And then whenever I've like completed something, I'll like put it in the completed box.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the year, when it gets to like, you know, New Year's, everyone's doing their resolutions, reflecting back on the year. You're like, what the I've done all this stuff you forget about even.
Yeah.
Because it's like, as human beings, we can't possibly keep all this shit in our brains that's going on. So it's so important to like write down the things that you have achieved so you can look back on it and just
reflect.
Yeah, reflect and be grateful.
Because I miss that all the time. And I think
with gratitude comes more things. Like, the more you're grateful, the more like is given to you. I believe that anyway.
Totally agree. Like, I'm so grateful every single day for why I'm here. And I think when you're also grateful, you're more authentic. Yeah. Because like, I care a lot. Like, I named my business after my grandparents because they meant so much to me. Like, they did so much for me throughout my entire life. And like, I will always be so grateful. And I think that is what keeps you very grounded, because it's very easy to get like lost.
Oh, for sure. We see it so much of like people getting their first kind of big pay, and then they're like,
I've made it.
You know, they've made it, and then their mindset is more like, oh, let me stunt on you guys and let me like flex on you guys.
And just like a bit better than you.
Not at all. For me, it's like, if I'm making more, okay, I'm trying to help everybody. Like, I'm trying to see, okay, how can I help this person? And not in that mindset of like, because also another thing I read in this book, I can't remember what it was called. I think it was Get Rich Lucky Bitch. Have you heard that?
No,
read that.
It's a
really good book, and it speaks about all how like women deal with being rich, and it's so interesting. And it talks about how we're naturally generous. Like, when we get money, we're like, I should probably give person this and buy this for this person. Like, it's a feminine thing to do
because it's important to give back.
Yes, so want to give back, but obviously like have a balance in that sense. Yeah, you know,
100%. Like, I will always take my mum out for like dinner or like afternoon tea. It's like, I appreciate her. She's cute. What is something you wish you were taught in school that would help you now?
Fucking everything to do with finance. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Were you taught anything in acting school?
We were talking about like actors' equity or some shit or another, something like that.
That's not helpful.
But like, not really. I think it just is so clear that it's intentional. Not to go all conspiracy theory here, but like, it's intentional. Because why wouldn't they teach you about bills, teach you about credit, teach you about finance? Yeah. You know, they need us to not be financially switched on. I just think everything to do with finance, like, what the hell? Like, it's great that I know algebra, but I'm never going to use it again.
I've never used Pythagoras' theorem ever.
I've never used it. So it's that, and also maybe like some social skills. Like, I think a lot of people would have benefited.
In like people skills?
Yeah, like people skills. Yeah. Like, obviously we had PSHE.
Yeah.
Oh my God, do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
But that was very like, what does that even stand for?
I don't know, but I will Google it after this episode.
Yeah. But like, I feel like in that, they could have slipped in some social skills for like a little.
Yeah. Like, just like how to like deal with like conflict, or
Yeah.
like working under pressure, taking time for yourself.
Healthy relationship like traits and versus toxic ones, and not just
Do you know
romantic
what? That would have
relationships,
been
with
so
friendships, family. How many children would that have saved and helped? Like, so
Do you
many
know
people.
what? Would have got rid of all my toxic relationships. I would have been a much
Literally.
happier person and less therapy bills.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, just all of that is just crazy that they don't show you, they don't teach you that
It
stuff in
is.
school.
And like I say to everyone, I only know what I know now because I worked in finance. And if I didn't work in finance, I wouldn't know anything.
Yeah, well, I don't. That's why I need you.
Well, you know how to create the most gorgeous looking
Do you know what?
handbag.
I know more now though. Like, you're actually teaching me, which is great.
Well, that's what I'm just trying to do with everyone.
Yeah.
As much as I can. But the final question is, what is a piece of advice you would give to your younger self?
Oh gosh. Probably don't give up, because I was very close to giving up. I think I've had a lot of things happen in my life that would have ended me, but
Same.
not to be dark, but it would have ended me. So I think I would tell myself, I remember actually thinking at the time when I was younger, I wish I could speak to my future self and she could just tell me. It works out, by the way, like it'll be okay. But yeah, I'm telling my future self, my younger self now, like, don't give up. Everything is just like gonna work out how it is gonna be, but you're gonna be fine. We need encouragement. Like, I think it's just so important. It makes such a difference, and I wish I had more of it at that point, because there were some points in my life where I was just like, I can't do this, especially by myself. Like, I've done everything by myself. So yeah, I think I would also tell my younger self that maybe like let people help you more.
I need to take that piece of advice.
Let people help you
such
more.
a control freak.
Yeah, because now it's like bad and I'm really struggled to let anybody help me, and that's why I'm intentionally trying to outsource. I'm in my outsource era.
I'm getting there. I'm not there yet.
We're on this journey together, girl. But yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on. It's been fun.
Anytime.
Bye.